Hello, YouTube. Like just about everyone, I'm a big fan of A Song of Ice and Fire series, and Waiting for the Wind of Winter has made me overly analyze the book like a lot. I think I actually figured out how magic works, though, and it's kind of neat, and I want to share it with you. So, the title of this video is Valonqars, and I've dedicated it to Cersei and her children. So, to understand everything, you need to understand the prince that was promised. And the prince that was promised is a prophecy that speaks of a magical prince that ended the long night and saved the world. And if the world ever needs him again, he will return to stop another long night from happening. So the identity of who most fulfills the prophecy is one of the most hotly debated subjects in the fandom. And over the course of this presentation, I'm going to make the claim that Rhaegar Targaryen was the prince that was promised. So to understand the whole prophecy and everything, you need to understand how magic works in Westeros. So Westeros is a magical society. And before we go into how magical it is, we need to understand that magic in George R. R. Martin's works follows Arthur C. Clarke's third law of technology, that any sufficiently advanced tech is indistinguishable from magic. So there are legends that talk about more technologically advanced civilization that existed before the Long Night. And there are structures that could not be built with our current level of technology, let alone Westeros's medieval tech, think the wall. There appears to be a conspiracy carried out by the Maesters and Varys to suppress magic. So, to understand that, we need to just understand a little bit more about magic. And to do that, we go to Miri Mazdur, the witch who betrayed Dany. So she said, all magic is blood magic. And I take that to mean that all magic has to do with king's blood. And king's blood means that a person traces their descent to a demigod from the Age of Heroes like Garth Greenhand or Bran the Builder. And kings from the Age of Heroes were superpowered individuals that used their magical abilities to found the great houses of Westeros. And all magic is either an ability inherent to king's blood or a sacrifice involving a king's blooded person. So to look at the magical abilities inherent to king's blood, we need to go and look at skin changing, warging, and dragon riding. So there are various magical abilities displayed in A Song of Ice and Fire, and most noticeable of them fall under the skin changing umbrella. So an individual with king's blood has the potential to put their mind into another vessel, be it a raven, a direwolf, a lion, or a dragon. And skin changers can also extend their lives by transferring their minds into another vessel. And it's possible for a skin changer to skin change into a human. And I think that face changing is like a skin changer's plastic surgery. The other type of magic we need to understand is blood sacrifice. And all magic spells are powered by sacrifice, and we can use two spells to understand magic: the tragedy at Summerhall and Dany's pyre. So the tragedy at Summerhall, or Rhaegar's birthday, was a fire that killed most of House Targaryen. And Rhaegar was also born on the tragedy of Summerhall. And the realm pretty much agrees that it was a magic spell to wake dragons gone wrong. And we know that all magic spells involve sacrifice. So to me, it's obvious that Rhaegar was born on the tragedy of Summerhall because it was timed around his birth. He was the prince that was promised to the gods as sacrifice. That is why Varys has been trying to suppress magic. So Daenerys' spell worked and Summerhall failed. So Dany sacrificed three things. And I think that ties into something that Rhaegar said, really the only thing that he said, which was the dragon must have three heads. I think a spell needs three king's-blooded individuals. And I think the evidence that support this is that we have unknowingly heard the prophecy. So Maggie the Frog in Cersei 8 tells us the prophecy in Cersei's Valonqar prophecy. So let's dissect the scene to like really understand everything. So Cersei and her friend walk into Maggie's shop. Maggie's asleep and she does not know who Cersei is. They wake her up and ask her to tell them their fortune. So Maggie gives Cersei a knife and tells Cersei to cut her hand. Then Maggie tastes Cersei's blood. Cersei is told that she can ask three questions. Cersei asks if she will marry a prince, and Maggie says no. Then she asks if she will be queen if she doesn't marry the prince, and Maggie says you will marry a king. And then she asked if the king and I will have children. And Maggie says, you will have 3 and he will have 6 and 10. And then she gives Cersei another piece of information. Gold will be their crowns and gold their shrouds. And when your tears have drowned you, the Valonqar shall wrap his hand about your pale white throat and choke the life from you. So the prince that was promised is a spell, not a prophecy. So let's end this with understanding what a Valonqar is. So a Valonqar is a king's-blooded person that is used as breeding stock. Craster and Gilly are Valonqars, so are Jaime and Cersei, and a good amount of the Targaryens. Maggie the Frog was telling Cersei that her blood was special, and because of that, she would be sold. Her male children will be sacrificed, and her daughters will enjoy the same fate as her. Tywin drugged Jaime and Cersei with a love potion so that he would have purebred kids. Robert knew and approved of it because it benefited him.